Hey guys, coming up next, we're going to take a look at Thailand's version of Chinese dumplings, which is called Kanom Jeeb. We're doing Thai pork dumplings with some beautiful aromatics right here at Conky's Creative Kitchen. You've got to do some serious chopping. I will forewarn you, but it's so worth it at the end, guys. So if you're interested, that recipe is going to be at kcknh.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thailand is such a beautiful country situated just above Cambodia. Their cuisine is known for their pungent, sweet, salty, sour, spicy goodness. Freshest ingredients are always used in their cuisine. In fact, some of the street foods that you can see there, they will tantalize everyone. The aromas are ridiculous, guys. Now, they have a version of dumpling that typically is folded a different way. I am always the kind of person that likes to try to dress things up. So with ground pork and a few aromatics, we are also working with a couple of items that you may need to go to an Asian store for. You can definitely make this, guys. It is a little bit prep heavy, but at the end of this, you're going to see it's so worth it. So I'm taking some fresh chives. We're doing a super fine chop. Now, because we're working on the filling for dumplings, we have to keep in mind we cannot have small chunks of this and that. So we want to do some really careful knife cuts. It's definitely something that'll be great if you're looking to strengthen your knife skills. Very easy to do, guys. It just takes a little time and practice. So we're working on the scallions next. We're doing a super fine cut. You could certainly take it an extra step, cut the scallions in half and then finely chop. It's up to you. But I find scallions give a slight toothsome feel, which is great. So we're just going to put everything into this one container here off to the side. Try to work as clean as you can. It's not always easy when you're doing stuff like this, so give yourself a break. Now with Thai food, they do love pungency. They want that packed power of flavor. I always do my ginger and garlic 50-50 together. I use a lot of it in the house. Now lemongrass is a beast on its own. This is going to look like it's taking forever to go through lemongrass, but there is a reason. It's hot as rock, guys. So you definitely want to take note. You're going to take a look at the different layers here. You're going to slice and trim off the ends. We definitely want to get rid of those. We want to keep this as clean as possible. And you'll notice that we've split this in half because sometimes you have to take the outer layers off. You only need the outer layers to be removed. Just use your judgment. And if it does need to get rinsed, just quickly rinse it under water. So we're cutting lengthwise in half because this is going to help with the slicing. It's going to make your life better. I will tell you that right now. Not all lemongrass is growing the same. Some could be wicked tough, some could be very easy. But as you can see here, the need for slicing it as small as possible is very important. Could you blitz it in a blender? Yeah, you could, but you don't want to puree this. Again, this is all about tasting the individual flavors. So you want to keep this as small as possible. And this will take a little bit of extra time that you're probably not used to, but it's okay. Great knife skill practice, guys. And lemongrass, I will certainly say, I love the aromatherapy I get from this. You know, you don't need to go out to some fancy office with all the aroma oils going off in the background. Do this at home. It's beautiful. Now, I do have to go to an Asian store for the majority of these ingredients. I find that most local stores, unless you're in a demographic where you have a large Asian community, you're not going to really find these at traditional stores. So certainly take a look online or find your nearest Asian market. Have some fun shopping in there. Be a great time to try new things as well. So now that we got the lemongrass coming together here, it looks like it's a lot, guys, but it really isn't. We definitely want to pack those dumplings with a lot of flavor. So we're going to get that into the container here as well. And we do want to remember, Thailand loves their sugar. They do a lot of cane sugar over there. You do have the option of finding cane sugar at your local stores. Just do whatever works for your budget. So into the bowl, we've got our ground pork, we've got our chopped onions, chives, lemongrass. We're hitting this now with fish sauce. The fish sauce in the recipe, I gave you a minimum guideline to look at. It's up to you if you want more. And yes, we are putting chicken stock in this, guys. Unless you have pork stock made ahead of time, typically chicken stock would be used. And now we're going to start bringing this all together. Just like the Chinese dumplings we've made in multiple videos here, we're going to vigorously mix this in one direction. There is a need to develop myosin. We're breaking these proteins in because we want this to give you the perfect mouthfeel when it's cooked. So it is important, mix the hell out of this in one direction. It does serve a purpose. I know it looks weird. It might even annoy you, but that's okay. It really does make a better bite to this, and it keeps the integrity of the meat so it's nice and tender, very juicy. So you can already see the meat is behaving much differently. It's almost a paste-like consistency. That's what we want, guys. So don't be afraid of this. And for me, to be honest, it's quite therapeutic to do it this way. I'm not going to lie. So now at this point, we have our mixture done. You can see this nice smoothness to it, and these little fibers that you can see almost like threads. That's the myosin development. And that's exactly what we're achieving when we're doing dumpling fillings. Whether it's beef, pork, chicken, it doesn't matter. That's what you want to go for. Now, get yourself a shot glass of water, a fork, your dumpling wrappers, and off to the side, eventually you'll see it, I have a pan set up with a light coating of cornstarch, and it's definitely going to be important because we're doing a crap ton of these. So we're lightly wetting the edges of the dumpling wrapper with the water, and we're not doing more than about an ounce of the filling, maybe an ounce and a half, depending on the size of your wrappers. I'm taking that point to just about a 1/4 inch below, and we're going to press and seal the edges. Why am I doing it this way? Easier for me to squeeze out the air this way, I find. It's less work. You're going to put a little bit of a divot in the butt of that dumpling. You're going to wet an edge, and you bring your two corners together to make this little boat. It's absolutely adorable. We're going to do a couple more so you can see that again. So you take another wrapper, get about an ounce of your filling, roughly in the middle, give or take. It doesn't have to be perfect. Wet the edges gently with the water. You don't want to super soak it. The cornstarch that's on there is going to act like a glue for you. At about a 1/4 of an inch from the top, we're going to start pressing and sealing out the air. We're going to take our finger. Eventually, we're going to put a little bit of a dent at the bottom of that. And now we wet that edge and we bring the 2 points together, and we've folded yet another dumpling, and it looks like this cute little boat. The nice part about this is it's very meditative for me. You might find a new love of making dumplings. This is actually a great project for kids to get involved with, you guys, if you want to show them. Probably not for the little ones, but you know, you got some kids around that like to enjoy helping mom and dad out, or even grandma and grandpa. Go for it, guys. have some fun with this. It does take some time to get used to making this. Sometimes repeated process is a bit of a problem for some people, but it goes by so fast, really. I can make about 40 to 50 completed dumplings. Sometimes I'll have a little bit of extra meat left over. That's okay. I can actually saute it up and save it for another food item. I can make up some noodles with the extra meat. And here we got that pan all set up. Look at the dumplings. Look at them. They're freaking gorgeous. So typically these get steamed. However, my stove is not big enough for the size steamers that I have. I could probably take something out with them, to be honest. They're kind of huge. So we're going to do a boil. Into a medium-sized pot, we got our water. We're not salting the water, guys. This is not Italian. We're working with an Asian dish, so do not salt your water. Once you got a boil going, start hitting it with your dumplings. Now, you are going to see they are going to sink. That is okay. That's what happens when your mixture's raw. Now, you do want to pay close attention because you don't want these to start sticking at the bottom. So do a gentle stir with a spoon. That way you can avoid having these stick to the bottom of the pot. The beauty of this is eventually they're going to start floating to the top. At that point, you're going to want to wait about 3 minutes before you check them. Now this is why we've kept it as gentle as 1 ounce filling. We want these to be able to cook thoroughly. So at the 3-minute mark, do a light press like I just did in the video. And if you find that it retains the fingerprint that you put in it, give it another minute. Once they're done, take a container, put a little bit of sesame oil or a neutral oil, whatever you like. That's going to help these dumplings avoid sticking together. And as you can see, I've got that container off to the side, which is lightly shaking that around so we can make sure nothing sticks together. Now with dumplings, I love texture. I actually got a little bit of green beans, washed them, took the tips off, and I'm doing thin sliced cuts to this, almost shaved thin. I love the freshness of green beans when they're raw, and the gentle heat from the dumplings will actually slightly cook these, which is beautiful. Now I got some snow peas here that we are doing very thin julienne cuts. This is another texture thing I'm looking for. I love to mess with my palate, and this is the best way to do it. And again, fresh vegetables, guys, you can't beat it. And look at that. They're so fun to make and so fun to eat, I have to tell you. So, let's take a look at the finished product, guys. And now we have a beautifully dressed Thai dumpling. All those flavors coming together here. You can garnish with scallions, Thai chili, some sesame seeds. Take some of your dumpling sauce and drizzle it over your dumplings if you like. Also, another great item is a spicy honey to put over those dumplings as well. You're gonna love this, guys. So please be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Let me know if you've tried this recipe, how it came out for you. And if I can help you out, you know how to get a hold of me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And as always, thanks so much for following me, guys. Happy cooking.